You need social movement to create a new style of dance. And now what bothers me today, a lot of people say they're new style hip-hop dancers, but they're not doing anything new. They don't do one new move. But they say, oh no, we're new style hip-hop. Show me something new and I'll give you credit. Show me one new dance and I'll give you credit. Don't show me that bad popping, isolations, animation, and say, because you're dancing to hip-hop music, that you're a new style hip-hop. You're not, because you don't do any new hip-hop moves. Because there's a lot of new hip-hop moves. The moves, they come and they go, but that becomes a part of your foundation. That becomes a part of your vocabulary that is hip-hop. I said there's no new school, there's no old school. Skeeter Rabbit said it best on one of my DVDs. There's no old school, there's no new school, there's only the school. The school of hip-hop. Because you're going to always learn new dances. New dances, social dances, everybody did the Dougie. Everybody's doing the Dougie. Where's the Dougie now? You see people doing the Dougie now? Of course nobody's doing the Dougie. Everybody's like... right? So is that new style hip-hop, or is it just another dance that's created in hip-hop that will soon leave? But then again, you can use it in your dance because hip-hop is going to last forever. That's what I tell people. If we're so old school, why are we the only ones still standing? Why are we the only ones still standing? Those young kids come and go like... They say they're new style. Well, show me something new. The Get Like kids, I love those kids because they're doing something new. They're doing their own thing. They're creating their own music. All that music I played today was all Get Like music from the Get Like kids. They create their own music. They create their own dynamic. They have a lot of foundational moves that they use in their dance that come from what we did. But they're creating their own form, their own style. I give those kids credit. Yeah, that shit is new. That shit is new. But a lot of kids that say they're new style hip-hop just because they're popping to hip-hop music, no, I don't think so. You ain't new style. You're not a new style hip-hop dancer. And most people don't understand, this term new style actually came from France. But the French kids were calling it New York style. And then they shortened it to new style, because they just felt like saying New York style. So it became new style. Just really how it actually started to spread around. So to me, it's like, I'm tired of it. Hip-hop is hip-hop, man. You know what I'm saying? From the B-boys to what we do, hip-hop is hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? So you better know something. You better know how to break. You better know how to do something that shows me your hip-hop. You say you're hip-hop, then show me. The new style kids, they can't even break. They can't even do six-step. They can't do nothing. How are you gonna say you're hip-hop when you don't even know the basis of where we come from? Your new style, what? Show me something. They're doing animation and isolation. I can say it again. I don't care. I'll tell any of those kids to their face. Show me some hip-hop. Don't show me this. Because that's the 70s shit. Which is nothing wrong with it. Like I said, I love popping. I'm a popper. But I dance hip-hop when I dance. You know? It's a hard thing to push because it just spread around so fast. New style, new style. Go on YouTube and watch any new style battle. And then go watch a popping battle. You'll be like, okay. Yeah, they are popping. Just not very good. You know. Any other questions?
I got some. Maybe you could elaborate on like how you and Buddha have said before, like it's not really like freestyle style, we're just freestyling. That's in hip hop, right? Like you're taking all these social dances from back 60s and further, bringing them into the new style, changing it to the music. You know, maybe elaborate on that, shed light on that, how it has become this new idea of hip hop.
Yeah. Right? Okay, so like I said, any style that has been created, any style, starts from social movement. Any style. Do you guys know why locking started? Anybody? Right. So it came from all these things. He couldn't do it. So he started creating his own dance from social dance that was already out. Popping. Anybody know why? Because he couldn't do the jerk. So he said, pow, 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 pow. Even our B-boys, we were rocking socially. That was a social movement. A social movement that you did in the club, which started the whole spawn of what we call breaking. Right? Same with hip-hop. Starts with social movements that are connected through time, through the culture. That's why I tell people, it's a culture. Learn, because those dances create a new style. freestyle, but like we say, it's not free of style. It doesn't mean you can just roll on the ground. Because people laugh at you and say you're whack. It takes the learning the social movement and creating your piece off of it, which is how you innovate a movement that may be similar to something that was done even in the 40s or the 50s. The Charlie Rock. Right? You guys know that, but you guys know that it comes from Charleston, right? Which precedes that era. But because of the music change and the dynamics, we do it a different way. We start to do different things different way. Right? This is what we're talking about. If you know your dance, you can create and be an innovator by knowing these social movements and mixing those movements together to create a new style of dancing. Or your style of dancing inside of those basic foundations. If you see me, Lynch, Stretch, Loose Joint, Marcos, Rubber Band, any of those guys, if you see us dance hip hop, we all dance differently. Right? Even though we all know the same foundation, because the key was, I don't know if you're a b-boy, if you're a popper, look at the Boogaloos. All know, but they all dance different, right? Look at the Lockers. All know the foundation, but all of them dance different. That's what you want to do. But that comes from knowing the movements and then creating your style. Gregory Hines said it best. Any great dancer has their own style. And you get that by truly basing yourself on foundation, whatever style you choose. And then sometimes you bring in some other stuff. Like a lot, for really the house movements that B-boys started doing later on in the mid-90s, started, the house scene in New York. Some of those guys have dope footwork because of that okay, we're gonna rock, but we're gonna take some footwork from house. Nagin is a dope house dancer. A dope house dancer. Which then you can see, okay, why his timing is really dope when he's doing his thing. Right? You start to bring elements of other styles into your dance that makes you a dope freestyle dancer. Because you have the ability to take in other styles and manipulate them to look great in what you do. That's what you really want to achieve as a freestyle dancer, no matter what category you choose to get your degree in, your dance degree. You know what I'm saying? Feel me? And that's why I tell people, you have to know the core of these dances in order to create. You can't be creative if you don't. It's just like you can't tell a story, you can't write a book if you don't know your alphabet. If you don't know your alphabet, how are you going to ever tell your story? So how are you going to tell your story on the dance floor if you don't know your history? If you don't know your curriculum? If you just say, you know what, I'm going to go out and do all power moves. I don't give a fuck about a power move, motherfucker. Show me you can dance. I can go get a gymnast to go do a power move for me if you really want. It's called breaking dancing. B-boying. It's a dance. Right? So some of those kids are like, I'm like, oh, man. Let me see you do any rock, and let me see you get busy. You know, I love power moves, of course, they're dynamic, but to me it's like, okay, I've been around this culture for so long, I've been in so many B-boy battles, it becomes like, okay, show me something. Show me something that's dope with it. Show me some flavor. That's why for a moment in time, the Koreans were killing it. Because it was just power moves. Then eventually it came back to feel like, okay, let me see part of the dance. It's not just about power moves. You got to be able to use both of it. Now, they innovated the game. I give them credit. They innovated the game because they came up with all this dynamic stuff that just changed the game completely. You got to give them credit for that. But then they still had to come back to what was the base. Okay, so what? You can do power moves, but let me see how funky you are. Let me see you really be able to really catch that music. Let me see you. I hate when people think they're dope and they're crashing all the time. You're crashing, motherfucker. Stick that shit. Work on your craft. If you're really dope, you're going to catch that shit. Right? We're going to boom, they go right to power. Wait a minute. Thinking of a move. Wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, if you take the time and really learn your craft, you're going to be nasty. Regardless of what style you choose to do. because you're studying. You know what I'm saying? We are freestyle, it's true. That's why we love what we do, because we can be ourselves. We can find our own identity. But you still have to know your craft. Study your craft. I tell people all the time, the young kids who just forgot about the rock and stuff, I said, learn that shit, man, it's important. That's where the dance is at. Then you incorporate your power. Then you really truly show how funky you are and how dope you are as a b-boy. Same with hip-hop, it goes tricky, you popping the same thing. Some people have great technique in popping. Know every move. They can't do one move to the motherfucking beat. It's like, what were you practicing? What were you studying? Study. Freestyle, not free of style.